clever people, and welcome to my review for Rings. So Rings is a new film in the Ring franchise, the first one being Ringu, which was a foreign film, then the American remake The Ring, followed by The Ring 2, and now Rings. This film revolves around the premise of a teenage girl, or not teenage, college-age girl, that discovers that her boyfriend is going through something weird. So when she goes to try to investigate, she discovers this weird video, all these weird things that are going on, and it's basically just another installment in the Ring franchise. Rings was not a film I was looking forward to. It moved a billion times. It was originally slated for November of 2015. Then it went to April, I believe, and then October, and now it's settling in February. And there's a reason this was put in February, because this film is absolutely awful. Rings is not as bad as Incarnate, and it's not as bad as The Bye Bye Man, but I could not enjoy a single aspect of this film. Rings is an awful movie. It was terribly put together, with honestly I believe one of the worst scripts of the year. I know that this year isn't fully developed yet, and we're still just in the beginning of it, but still, at the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised to see if this gets a Razzie nomination for Worst Screenplay, because it is absolutely terribly written. There's one scene on an airplane where it's basically just forced exposition, and it's just characters telling you exactly what you need to know about the story. So when they tell you these things, it's so lazily put in there, it's so lazily put together. Then as the film progresses, you realize how awful the screenplay is, because the dialogue is very, very bad, and it also panders to the characters way too much. Like, there's a scene where a character is able to get on somewhere that they shouldn't be by using something on their necklace, and it's completely implausible, and it doesn't make sense with anything going on. And also, some of the horrific dialogue is so terribly written, like a scene where a character goes up to someone and jokingly says, "Oh, is that chicken or is it steak?" And the person looks back at them and says, "You're funny." It's terribly acted, and it is also terribly written. There are a lot of scenes where characters are just having conversations, and it is awfully done. The script also leads practically no character development to anyone. You're supposed to care about these characters and you don't. In fact, the boyfriend, not even the main character, but the boyfriend got more development than her. You don't understand why she's not in college, why she's staying home where her parents are. All you know is that she has a connection to her boyfriend. You know that her boyfriend is doing this for an experiment and all these type of things, but really, the character development from everyone is incredibly weak. The boyfriend is actually probably the most developed character, but everyone else is very flat, they're very one note, they don't show off a lot of emotion. They don't even try to give a backstory, they don't even try to have a story of, oh, this character had a mother that died, or anything like that. It's just so lazily put together that they don't even try or attempt to do anything such as that. It also offers nothing new, it hits practically every single horror cliche that there is in the book, and also, by far the worst part about this film is that it is completely and entirely boring. I hate to use the word boring. I like to use uninteresting, and I like to explain why it's that way. But honestly, this was just a straight up boring movie. It was hard to watch. About 20 or 30 minutes in, I eventually stopped getting engaged by the story or anything going on because I had no reason to, and I was stuck watching this film that I didn't enjoy. I just was begging for it to be over. When you're begging for a film to be over, that's never a good thing, and part of the reason is because this film is unscary. Do they have the cheap scares? Yes, they do, and when they're in there, they're absolutely awful, like a Skype thing where they're trying to have a jump scare. For the most part, the jump scares in this movie are actually terrible, but besides that, they try to go for some more psychological horror, they try to go for more idea-based horrors, things like that, and it really doesn't work, because it's unscary because of the way it's executed. The lighting, the cinematography, everything, it just looks terrible with what's going on. Now, in some ways, this film is competent. The acting, for the most part from everyone, is fine. The cinematography, I was glad to see that they put some effort into it and just didn't have the standard normal TV cinematography. But besides those competent parts, Rings was an awful movie. It's honestly a terrible film. I cannot suggest anyone to go see it. I have not seen the original The Ring, and I have not seen the Ring 2 or the foreign original. So this is really my first exposure to this Ring franchise, and it made me not want to go back to watch the originals. Lazily put together, completely boring, with an awful script. The Rings is honestly one of the worst films that I have seen so far this year, and I will give it a 3 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for Rings. What are your thoughts on this film, or just the Ring franchise in general? Comment in the comment section below. I am Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.